it off.
No problem.
Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of Plainfield JV football right here on audiosportsonline.com. And we thank you for joining us for this afternoon's game, or this morning's game. Actually, we're kicking off here at about 10 a.m., 10:03 local time here at Plainfield High School, just north of Interstate 70, just west of the Indianapolis International Airport. We'll be able to see the planes coming and going throughout the day. Myself and Lex Zorn here with you on audiosportsonline.com as Mooresville gets ready to kick it away. The big place kicker, number 42, gets a boot into it, and he kicks it down the field. It's going to be taken at about the 8 by the Plainfield deep back, and he gets a seam, and he cuts up. He's at the 40. He looks to break the tackle, can't quite do so, but he's still forward for a pretty good gain. He's across the 40 to his team's own, call it the 43-yard line, and that's where his team will take over 1st and 10. And for the first time today, we'll bring in Lex Zorn.
That was a heck of a return there by Logan Burden, and I emphasize it's not Burton, it's Burden, as in Eric Burden and War, for all you classic rock fans. So anyway, Plainfield won the varsity matchup last night between these two teams by a score of 54-14. Now they're trying to make it a clean sweep on this Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, and for the two freshman teams, we'll get it on Monday, I believe. And here comes the return man on the jet sweep. He's got an edge this time. He gets around the outside to the near side 42-yard line, give him a gain of about 17, and that'll be a first down for the Quakers.
The Quakers move the chains, their first play from scrimmage, and they're picking up where the varsity team left off last night, trying to get another easy win here.
And the Quakers will go quickly here as Denbrook on that carry. And now the quarterback for the Quakers, Nate Dalton, will take the snap, hand it off up the middle to his tailback, and he'll get forward for a gain of about 3. Credit 3 yards on the carry for Ricky Alsum. And we saw a little bit of Alsum on the first Friday night of the season when these Quakers took on the Avon Orioles at Avon, and they'll go quick once again. Here's Dalton taking the snap in the shotgun, and Alsum gets around the outside this time. He's got a blocker downfield, one man to beat, and he's knocked out of bounds near the 10-yard line, and that's another quick first down for the Quakers.
Quakers come out swinging. They're lining up with 4 wide receivers, and they're attracting enough attention that it's creating some big holes for Alsum, so we'll see if he punches it in here.
And once again, the Quakers moving very quickly. 2 receivers split out to either side, and Denbrook goes in motion once again. Gets the jet sweep again. He's got a blocker. Cuts inside at 10-5 into the end zone for a touchdown. And that is Brandon Denbrook on the jet sweep from his slot wide receiver position. He gets into the end zone, and the Quakers on top early 6-0, and they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, Brandon Denbrook, a little guy at 5'4", 125, but sure has good moves and good speed there.
And a 2-point conversion try on the way is going to be split out. Apologize for missing some of the video on that drive. Hopefully we got sufficient audio to you. 2-point conversion, no good on the split out flat route. And it's going to be...
I'll be glad to work the camera since you're doing most of the commentary.
Yeah,
no problem.
Let me move this camera over a little bit, give you a little bit more leeway.
No problem.
Move myself a little bit this way. And we're going to give you some messages here in a moment. I neglected to print out my JV script this weekend, as we'll talk about both my game and Lex's game from last night here at some point this morning.
I got a real dandy.
Yeah, and we both had some good offensive performances last night, and the Plainfield kicker in to kick this one away. Today's game will be brought to you partially by several different outlets, and we appreciate all of our sponsors. Give me just a few moments to get it ready for you as we prepare for today's game.
Well, 1 minute and 12 seconds, all it takes for the Quakers to open the scoring here on this beautiful Saturday morning here on Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you all have a great holiday weekend. So the kick, it's a squib, fielded just behind the 40, then takes it over to the right side of the field, tries to find a hole, but he gets nothing. And he's brought down for right around, probably didn't get more than 1 or 2 yards.
And so as we mentioned, today's game is underwritten by several different folks. Wicker Construction, Jimmy Johns of Plainfield, Gunnell and Kinnaman LLP, and the Hoosier Tent and Party Rental Company. So we'll give you messages on each one of those periodically throughout the day. And here go the Mooresville Pioneers this time on offense, as we have quarterback Carson Goodman and a quick flag. I believe we got a false start on the Pioneers.
Last night's win for the Quakers was particularly sweet for their assistant coach, Chad Dockery, who just left Mooresville after 5 seasons as head coach last year. I think we're glad to have him on staff here at Plainfield.
Well, in the battle for Old 267, owned recently by the Quakers, as they had taken home another one. And here's the pass out from Goodman to his split end, and he'll get forward for a gain of about 5 and pick up what they lost on the false start, give them 2nd and 10.
The last time that Mooresville beat Plainfield in varsity football, I commentated the game. It was 3 years ago with my buddy J.P. Sinclair, and that was a very painful game to watch because Plainfield was totally decimated by injuries. Had they been healthy, they would have won easily, but they just basically they should have been corporate sponsored by a hospital that season.
Well, and 3 receivers to the near side, to the top of the field. Another quick split pass to number 82, Swindle. And Dan Swindle gets forward for a gain of about 9. Call it 3rd down and a short yard here for the Pioneers early on. As we mentioned, the battle for Old 267, it is always I don't want to say always a tight contest, but always a well-contested game, as both teams are always very eager to get that victory. And for the first time today, Goodman will go under center.
Yeah, I love those little geographic rivalries like that. It's part of the charm of Indiana high school football.
Goodman sends a man in motion and hands off up the middle to his running back, and Gregory, the running back, gets forward, and he's going to be good for a first down there at the 49-yard line.
And at that game, that back in 2014, Jacob Maple, Plainfield's leading returning rusher, had been injured in the first game, and then the first play of scrimmage in that game against Mooresville, John Finch, their leading rusher up to that, and the leading rusher that season up to that point, got injured and was out for the season. So they had virtually no rushing offense at that point. It was very painful to watch.
So 3 receivers to the top of the field, 2 to the bottom, and another quick hitch out to the tight end, possibly Swindle. He's set up in a wide receiver position, but he stands at 6 foot. It says 6 foot tall here in the program, but I got to believe that young man's a little bit taller than that, as he looks like quite a big man with all them pads on. The Pioneers in the white jerseys with the Navy numbers and the Navy pants and helmets. The Quakers wearing the red helmets, red jerseys, white pants with the red stripe down the side. The Quakers defense giving rush on Goodman. Goodman has to step up in the pocket. Now he's looking deep. He's got a man, and it's caught at the 10. An impressive pass there off of his front foot for Goodman, and he gets his gain out there give him credit for about a 42-yard pass and catch, and that's going to be a first down now. Give him 44 on the pass and catch. First and goal inside the 10 at the 7.5 for the Pioneers for the first time tonight.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to Mooresville, for striking back, rather than folding after they went down, after they gave up that touchdown so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And here comes Goodman under center this time. He's going to give it off on the delayed handoff to his running back, and that young man is gobbled up in the backfield. Nick Gregory, tackled by a bevy of Plainfield defenders up in front on the original stop. The initial contact made there by number 60, Warner Klaus, the 6 foot, 275-pound defensive lineman.
So yeah, they were about five guys brought him down. They were ready for him. It was a great timing there by the. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun throws up the middle, and it's just through his hands. The intended receiver there was Kyler Evans, who is a sophomore. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal. I'll tell you, the Pioneers would hate to leave the field without getting a touchdown here after having it 1st and goal there at the 8. So one thing I hate about these Saturday morning games, sometimes it's so hard to read the scoreboard.
It is very sunny. Both of us still have our sunglasses on here in the press box as the sun is still short of high noon right now. And here comes the quarterback. Goodman looking for the corner route in the end zone.
Touchdown.
And, wow, what a pass and catch there on the corner to the wide receiver.
Kyler Evans,
number 6 on the catch.
That's not
nice
Tyler.
Ball there from a junior on the JV squad into the corner of the end zone, Leck.
Yeah, so now the Pioneers are an extra point away from taking the lead here with 5:34 to go in the first quarter. The drive wasn't quite as fast as Plainfield's, but, it got the job done. And like I've been saying with these Cascade games, since they are a big time of possession team, it doesn't matter how long it takes, the points still count the same.
And on to kick this one through the uprights, looking as Jake Wallman, the place kicker. And the snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks like it's good, and it is. And that'll be a 7-6 lead for the Pioneers.
All right, so Mooresville takes the lead. I would have never believed that after the way the first possession went.
Yeah, just like that, with less than halfway through the first quarter here, the Pioneers have taken the 7-6 lead, and we're going to go to a quick message and be back in a moment on audiosportsonline.com. For more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction has engaged in building homes and remodeling projects. Wicker Construction works with the client to understand their lifestyle and construction needs. Their phone number is 839-8353. That's 317-839-8353. And Leck, a quick touchdown drive there for the Quakers on the first drive, and then a methodical drive there by the Pioneers. And we have an early 7-6 ball game, as I mentioned, just under halfway through the first quarter.
I got to wonder after seeing that last play why Kyler Evans is on JV. I bet he won't be for long after that.
Yeah, and another big boot. It's a high end-over-end kick, going to be taken at the 17 by the up back for Plainfield, and he will go across the 30, down to the 33, and that's where he'll be stopped, and his team will take over 1st and 10. Credit Logan Burden on the return for the Quakers.
And Burden had about a 40-yard return or so in the first play, but, with Mooresville varsity not only entering the game at 0-3, but having been blown out in all 3 of their games, you can bet they're going to be giving a lot of these JV kids a chance, and,
Absolutely. As you mentioned, a nice pass and catch there, and Kyler Evans likely to see some varsity time, the young man. And here comes the man in motion. It's the wing back on the jet sweep.
Oh, what a play. They were ready for him.
Ripped out in the backfield. That is number 9 for the
Dominic Oldham.
Yeah, Dominic Oldham, the sophomore. So another sophomore coming up big. Kyler Evans, the sophomore, and Oldham, the sophomore. Both coming up big on the JV squad right now with a couple of big plays. Oldham is a defensive end. He'll have his hand in the ground on the far side of the field. 2 double twins split out for the Quakers. Dalton drops back. He's looking deep. A beautiful ball, but he overthrows his receiver. Nice, long, deep pass there. And lots of whistles blowing. I've got a flag on the far sideline, and let's see what it's for. Got a sideline warning issued against the Mooresville Pioneers, and that will be their first warning. Any subsequent penalty after that is going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down. So double twins once again. It's going to be 3rd down and about 14 for the Quakers. Dalton calls the cadence, and it will be a dummy count, and he'll look to the sideline to possibly switch the play. Sends a man in motion. Now there's going to be trips to the top of the field. One receiver alone at the near side. Dalton drops back to pass, looking to set up a screen, and does. Alsum gets the catch, and Ricky Alsum gets forward. He's going to be shy of the first down at the 40, and the Quakers will bring on the punt team on a 4th and 3.
Well, the Mooresville defense, you got to give them credit. They really stepped up a lot, on that possession. After Plainfield scored they moved the ball almost at will on their first possession, getting the easy touchdown in just a minute 12.
Pioneers will send Kyler Evans onto the field, and a little bit of confusion as there was a whistle
They got the
blown
first
just before the snap, and a fake punt called for by the Quakers. A quick pass out to the receiver on the near side, and I was confused as I thought I heard a whistle blow, but credit the Quakers with give them a 20-yard, 19-yard, 20-yard pass on the play, and that's where they're going to have a 1st and 10 at the Pioneers 40-yard line. And Leck, maybe you can explain that play a little bit better than I can.
I don't think I can.
Wildcat formation. Alsum sends a man in motion. He'll fake the handoff, looking for the sweep, and he gets forward, but he's dropped and hit hard by a linebacker, and that's number 44 for the Pioneers, Adrian Diop.
Well, great job. So the Quakers, they, and I think one thing about JV and freshmen, and I'll hold that thought till after this play, but
Wildcat formation once again, 2 receivers to the top of the field. Alsum gets the snap, reverse called for, and they're looking to pass. There's the pass forward. It's going to be, just short of outstretched arms of the wideout. And another penalty flag is going to be called late this time, and it looks in the area of an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, it's an interesting play there. But, one thing that, one different dynamic about JV and freshman ball is that because there's not a whole lot of pressure, in regard to wins and losses, you're free to just take more chances like that, like the fake punt, or like on that play where you have the surprise pass there by the wide receiver, Brigham Woost, excuse me.
Well, and if you're standing up here in the press box or down there maybe on the sideline, you can see that play as it begins to set up. And the penalty is going to be declined. It'll bring up a 3rd down. It was called on the Quakers. The Pioneers choose to decline on the illegal man downfield, and it will bring up a 3rd and 9. Dalton will call the signals. Trips to the near side. 1 receiver alone at the top of the field. Also in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. He's got some room on the left side. He looks to get away, and he does. At the 30, the 25, inside the 20 to the 15, 10-5, and Ricky Alsum will be into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, every drive so far in this game has resulted in a touchdown, and so Ricky Alsum certainly, right now the varsity Quakers are in great shape at running back with Dawson Anderson and Tavian Gadia, but Ricky Alsum looks like he's a diamond who's waiting in the wings for his turn.
Yeah, and Alsum goes up the middle. He gets met by a Pioneer defender, and he's going to be shy of the goal line, and it'll be now it'll be a 12-7 lead for the Quakers.
It's just odd for me. This is the 6th season in which I've commentated Quakers football. It's odd for me to see Plainfield going for 2 because I'm so accustomed to the Hagee brothers. Morgan, who's now a junior at Ball State, one of the top college football kickers in the country, and then his younger brother John, now playing at Utah State. So 2 of several Quakers currently playing Division I college football.
And the other Hagee brother kicks now for them on the varsity squad. Let me find his name on here as to what number he is.
Oh, okay. I did not know. Okay, that's news to me. Yeah, John had originally signed with Utah State, but I found out just transferred to Ball State, so I guess he's looking to succeed his brother there in a couple of years when Morgan graduates and hopefully goes on to the NFL.
And
but we'll
the
see.
Plainfield kicker gets a boot into it. It hits at about the 26, and it's picked
Fumble
up
there.
and dropped now at the 20, and it's still on the ground. It's loose, and it's finally picked up by the Pioneers inside their own 10. Almost a big mistake for the Pioneers and a great fortune for the Quakers. But the Quakers defense will have the Pioneers backed up all the way to the 7-yard line. Leck, what'd you see there?
Well, the bobble there is a very dangerous play by Mooresville. They're lucky it didn't turn into a disaster. As it is, they've got it down at they have it deep in their own territory at the 7. But
so the Pioneers will break the huddle. Send twins to the near side, a tight end to the far side, and Kyler Evans is going to split out alone at the top of the field. Goodman's going to take the snap. Hand off. No, he's going to fake it. It's going to be a quick screen out here to the wideout. and he'll be taken down. A flag thrown, and a bunch of Quakers get on top of him there. And a flag down. Let's see what the call is. Holding is going to be called on the offense, and that's going to push back the Pioneers likely a couple more. I will not be able to tell you who that was on the catch because he's unlisted on the roster.
Oh, yeah, that's part of the that's part of the annoying charm of high school ball.
Yeah,
number changes.
Well,
late
and
additions.
usually what the reason something like that happens is maybe a kid on Friday night plays linebacker, but on Saturday morning or Monday evening he plays.
Austin Gage, okay. We got. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
On the catch. And now under center goes the quarterback for the Pioneers. He's going to drop back. It'll be a play action. He'll roll out to the right looking for a man and has one. That's his tight end or his large wideout once again on the catch, Dan Swindle.
Another part of the charm of high school ball is you have helpful people in the press box.
Well, and one of the good things about going out to Plainfield on a Friday night here is that they always come through with the statistics.
Yes.
Constantly, every quarter, every touchdown drive, every chance they get, they will print out a for each member of media row out here, and you'll get a chance to see what the stats were for each drive. And here's Goodman with the snap once again. Another quick screen pass and another penalty flag down. The Pioneers have enough for a first down, but that one's thrown and in a late flag out of bounds. So it looks like we may have offsetting penalties and replay the down. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it's always great to get that kind of stat help because I've rarely gotten that. But, yeah, Plainfield just has a great staff all around. And, yeah, you know, for those of you listening, after Marcus questioned who that guy was, then somebody here in the Plainfield box just wrote down Austin Gage number 88 on a paper and showed it to me to make sure that I saw it.
Okay, so we've got – so here's what our penalties are on that play. That's going to be a personal foul for roughing the passer. And then after the play, it's going to be another personal foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. So what's going to happen, it's going to be about a 10-yard gain and tack on 30 yards of penalties. And the Quakers defense has backed up now across their own 50 down to their own 44 where the Pioneers will take over. And the Quakers had a defender line up offsides, but he stepped back. And here's the snap now back to the quarterback Goodman. He hands forward for a gain of about 2 to his running back Gregory, and he'll be taken down.
Yeah, and you know, last night in that Cascade game, which I'll talk more about later on, that victory at Brown County, they nearly did themselves in with silly penalties.
Well, and after this play, let's start to get into that Cascade game as Goodman splits out receivers to either side of the field with his running back Gregory in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, now throws a bubble pass out to the near side to the big.
Got a good block there.
And a good block by Kyler Evans, but another penalty flag down, and that one's in the area of a hold. And that's why they pay me the big bucks, Leck, as that is a holding penalty, and that'll push back the Pioneers. I got to point out, Leck, it is a beautiful Saturday morning here on September 2nd in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, the only problem is from my vantage point, I'm soaking up all that heat from the glass here, so I'm kind of burning up. I already took my hoodie off. I've got just got a T-shirt on now, but yeah, it is a beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful Labor Day weekend all around.
Absolutely. Gotta love the 3-day weekend.
Yep.
And here come the Pioneers. We'll get to that Cascade game after this play. Here's the handoff. No, he's going to fake the handoff, looking to roll out, pass out, and he does so to Swindle. And Swindle's got another decent gain. He's going to be just shy of the first down at the 35. Call it third and about a yard.
Yeah. And I'll tell you though,
Cascade game, Leck.
And what's that?
Let's get into that Cascade game.
I'll do that at the quarter break.
Okay.
So,
okay. Which is coming up here in just about a minute.
But I'll tell you, this being Labor Day weekend, and then Jerry Lewis just having died a couple of weeks ago, it reminds me. I miss his Labor Day telethon so much. It's just one of those great memories of my youth that's gone now. But it's nice while it lasted. So it just doesn't seem to be Labor Day without it.
So double wing formation, 2 receivers split out. Another play action fake for Goodman. He gets it out to his tight end this time.
He's got the first.
And he's got enough for the first down. That's number 32, Camden Schmidt, on the catch and gain for the first down at the 29-yard line.
Well, when it came time to hire a new coach, Mooresville, they went for the deep ball. They hired one of the living legends in Indiana history, Mike Gillen. I believe the third winningest coach in Indiana history, and he's been a head coach for 30-some years. I can get the number here, but he's the long time the head coach at Indian Creek, had a lot of success there, and now taking over a bigger program, see if he can have similar success.
And a pass out here from Goodman is caught by Swindle again, but he's going to be only forward for a gain of about 2.
The Pioneers have not had a winning season since Mark Bless left to turn Avon into a perennial top 10 power.
And Mike Gillen, as you mentioned, the coach of Indian Creek, his son Casey Gillen set many records while he was in high school for passing, as Indian Creek had a very similar offense to what the Pioneers run now.
Yeah, I remember Casey Gillen. He started off at Ball State and then ended up ending his college career at the University of Indianapolis, a Division II school here on the south side of the city.
Yep. And before we get into a message, we will go to Lex Zorn for a recap of his game last night at Brown County. Brown County and Cascade.
Well, I've been for JV and freshman ball, I've been doing Avon and Plainfield this year, but for varsity, I've been the voice of Cascade football in their debut season here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Last night, they had a very scenic road trip down to Brown County in Nashville, Indiana, to play the Brown County Eagles, who've struggled a lot in recent years, but entered the game with a 2-0 record. And it was played in the rain from start to finish. And Cascade, after getting blown out their first 2 games against heavyweight opponents, Monrovia and Danville, didn't quite bring their A game. They brought about their B or B minus game. They moved the ball well. They dominated time of possession. They had I think about 20 more plays from scrimmage than did Brown County. I'll have to check the final stats. They hurt themselves with too many penalties. They struggled to finish drives, but they did get the job done. Pulled out with a 15-8 win, their first win of the season, and got another probable win next Friday at home against Cloverdale, and a very favorable schedule the rest of the way. So don't count the Cadets out in their quest to have a winning season and even make a deep tournament run now that Monrovia is out of their sectional, having been forced to move up to Class 3A.
Well, and Leck, that definitely helps. And here's a pass out to Evans once again. Oh, and he can't quite rein it in, as the back shoulder fade couldn't quite be completed, and let continue.
And, Cascade, believe it now, with Monrovia being gone since after winning the Class 2A state championship in 2015, making it the semi-state last year, they're up in Class 3A. So Cascade might be the third best team in their sectional now, behind Tipton, who's ranked number 9 in Class 2A, and Western Boone. So if the Cadets get a good draw, they could win a couple of tournament games. So much depends without seeding. So much depends on the almighty draw here in Indiana high school football. So now back to action here. One receiver to the left, 3 to the right for the Pioneers. Pass over, and it's completed inside the 15 for a first down and more. That was Evans again. Kyler Evans gets the game ball so far for the Pioneers, and they're trying to get the lead back here. Since it's a 5-point lead, a touchdown will put them back on top regardless of the conversion.
And Leck, for those fans that watch the game like I do, you watch specific positions, and I was watching Kyler Evans run a great route on that play.
Yeah, he's very talented, and he'll be on the varsity squad. And now a handoff there, but they're right on top of him, and he's brought down for a big loss. Gave the ball there to Devin White, who's a junior, and they were right on top of it. Sometimes the timing is just perfect, and, you can nail the guy for the big loss. So Plainfield trying to hold on to the lead here early in the third quarter. Each team has scored on every possession so far. Plainfield trying to end that streak now.
So 2nd and 14 now from the 19 of the Quakers. And a fake handoff once again, and Goodman will roll out looking for his man Swindle at near the 5, and it's outside of the numbers, incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long now for the Pioneers.
So nice recovery now that the Quakers have it now 3rd and 14 for the Pioneers here.
Hey, so Leck mentioned his game at Cascade. I will speak of my game last night at Tri-West in a few moments after this drive ends as we switch possession. And a good one for for the Bruins last night as well.
And for all of Hendricks County, all 6 Hendricks County teams won last night. It's the first time I ever remember all 6 getting a clean sweep. I'm sure it's happened before, but I don't think since I've been commentating here.
And here's a Goodman dropping back, looking over the middle, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted at the 2, and he's looking to take it back. He gets it past the 15, outside of the 20, and that's an interception by number 81, Mason Thompson, with the interception. They were looking for Kyler Evans, but there was about 4 or 5 Quakers down there, and Mason Thompson came up with the big interception.
Yeah, first time a drive ends with anything other than a touchdown today. So now Plainfield with the lead in the ball. We'll see what they do with it. Trying to take it. They've try to get a 2-possession lead here in the first half.
And Nate Dalton will go out on the field this time, so a regular shotgun formation for the Quakers. They'll split 3 receivers to the near side of the field. One is alone at the top of the field. That's Nathan Dennison. And a handoff goes up the middle to Alsum. Alsum gets forward for a gain of about a yard. Give him 2 at the 24. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Alston only a sophomore, so he'll be a senior after both the Dawson Anderson and Tavian Gadia have graduated and taken their game to college ball, possibly major college.
Dalton goes again quickly, hands it off again to Alsum. Alsum up the middle, and he gets forward, gain him about 9, and give him a first down on the play.
Alsum is 5'8", 190. Still got a couple years to grow and mature.
Double twins, same formation. Look for the same play. I'm thinking it's going to be a handoff to Alsum up the middle as the Quakers go extremely quickly. And there Alsum gets it up the middle. He stopped for a second but gets out of a tackle and gains about 2. Give him credit for 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from their own 38-yard line. They'll go quickly once again with 2 receivers to either side of the formation. Alsum flanking Dalton to the left this time. Calls the signals. Hard count, and now they will look to the sideline for a switch of the play call. They've got it, and they look to make the adjustment. They do so, and here is the cadence. Dropping back the pass, has a man on the hitch. He's got his receiver, Dennison. Nathan Dennison's got enough for a first down. Give him 10, and the Quakers move the ball right along the field. And here they go quickly once again. Trips to the near side of the field. Alsum flanks Dalton in the backfield to his left side. Dennison alone at the top of the field. Dalton dropping back, trying to set up the screen. Looking, and he has Alsum after the screen is sort of broken up. It's going to be a loss of a yard on the play, but it could have been much worse as the Pioneers snuffed that screen attempt out, Leck.
Yeah, so Mooresville, trying to get out of the Mooresville defense, trying to get off the field without giving up any more points and falling down by 2 possessions.
So I mentioned we're going to talk about the Tri-West game last night. We'll talk about that after the next score as the Quakers will go quickly. Here's the handoff up the middle to Alsum. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get forward for a gain of about 3, though. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Quakers.
.5:36 to go and counting here or 6:34. That's one thing, when you got the sun shining on the scoreboard, sometimes it's hard to discern the 5s from the 6s.
And here come the Quakers. Dalton passes out to the near side, has his man. He's going to be short of the first down, though, and he's thrown down out of bounds. And another penalty flag thrown on the far side of the field.
Well, the commentator just pronounced his last name Wiest, so I guess he knows it better than I do. So that's Brigham Wiest, W-U-E-S-T. Good German name.
I would have said Wust.
Yeah, that would be the German pronunciation, yeah. I took 4 years of German, so I know a little bit of it.
I took 4 years of Spanish, so I know zero German. Except for Guten Tag.
Yeah, that's a good day for those of you who don't know.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't even know what it meant.
Okay.
I just knew how to say it.
Yeah.
That's with most of the English language for me.
Yeah. But
a little bit of conversation going here on the field.
I went to Germany and Austria I've been to Germany twice, Austria once, and one thing I learned when I was over there is that even though I could read a fair amount of the German text that I saw over there, my ears were not very well tuned to the language, so I had a very hard time deciphering it when spoken. I think it takes a while just being in that culture and just hearing it spoken daily to really pick up on it.
So the penalty on the play is for an ineligible receiver downfield, and that will be accepted by the Pioneers and push the Quakers back, give them a 3rd and 12 just outside the 45-yard line. They'll split 2 receivers out to either side. Awesome flanks Dalton in the backfield. Dalton taking the snap, dropping back, looking. He has a man. It's caught at the 50. He gets across near the 45, brought down at the 46. And he's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 3, and I think the Quakers are going to go for it.
Yeah, I would think they would. It's one of those things, if it were a varsity game, maybe they wouldn't, but they tend to take more chances since there's less to lose here in these varsity and freshman games.
And quickly, the Quakers will go. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Awesome. He's got to move his feet a lot more to get the first down.
They stopped him. They stopped him.
And, yeah, they stuffed him about 1.5 yards shy of the first down, and that's where the Pioneers will take over, 1st and 10.
So each team with the turnover on its last possession now, so Mooresville still will take the lead with a touchdown here. 5:42 to go here in the second quarter, trailing 12-7 at Plainfield.
Once again, Marcus Fredwell, Lex Zorn with you here on AudioSportsOnline.com. We've got our contest today between the Plainfield Quakers and the Mooresville Pioneers. Pioneers with the football now near the 45-yard line. And I want to thank Jimmy Johns, who offers delivery and catering and located at 2683 East Main in Plainfield. He
got an errant snap here, and he falls on it.
Fallen on by the quarterback.
Well, that's going to be a huge loss there of over 10 yards.
Yeah,
about 15 yards.
About 15 yards on the play. We'll finish up Jimmy Johns, 2683 East Main in Plainfield next to BW3s. Open 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. More information can be found at 837-8282 or online at jimmyjohns.com. So, yeah, as you mentioned, Leck, an errant snap, and that goes over the head of the quarterback, and it's going to be all the way back to the 31-yard line. Credit them with a loss of 14 on the play, and the sack goes to the nearest man, who on that play was Levi Parker.
I know we got a flag here before the snap.
Or, excuse me, not Levi Parker, but number 75.
Delay of game
Logan
against
Noose.
So they got delay of game, so add another 5 yards to that. So now 2nd and 34 for the Pioneers.
Three receivers split out to the top of the field, one to the near side. Goodman going to drop back and pass. Looks deep, and he's looking for Evans. And it's going to be picked off again. This time it's a cornerback for the Quakers, and he gets away from one tackle, shakes another one, and he's still going. He's still going at the 45, looks to get outside at the 40, down to the 35, and he's taken down by a lineman at the 30, where he will take it all the way down to the 31, give him the 30-yard line. That's number 86, Dylan Swanson, on the interception, and the big return as he broke a few tackles, cut all the way across both sides of the field. He returned it for about 30 yards, but he ran about 75 or 80 on the play.
I'll tell you, I think I kept him in frame the whole time. We'll see we'll see on the playback, but I think I got it.
That was a really deep ball there by the quarterback Goodman, and just short of Evans. And here comes the jet sweep for the Quakers. And he's trying to cut it back, and he does. He gets forward, but another flag thrown. That's going to be a holding on the Quakers.
When I commentate a game, and there's, I often, when I describe the uniforms of each team, I try to pick an analogy of who it looks like, by comparing them to, famous college or pro teams. And I remember the last time I commentated, when I commentated Plainfield versus Mooresville here 3 years ago in that varsity game, I said it looked like IU versus Michigan.
Well, and I even think that the Mooresville boasts kind of an old school West Virginia look a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be another good analogy. Yeah, but Plainfield looks very IU-like.
Oh, and a fake handoff this time on the jet sweep and a screen pass to the near side. The running back Denbrook was absolutely lit up, and another late flag here. That's in the area of an unsportsmanlike, maybe even a face masking.
Brigham Wiest is the only person I've ever known of named Brigham, other than, of course, Brigham Young. It's not a very common name.
Ooh, a horse collar called, which is new to the NFHS rules. As of, I believe, 2 years ago, they put that call in for the first time. The NFL came up with it about 4 years ago, maybe 5, and finally the NFHS decided to put that into the rule book as well. The Quakers moving it right along the field. Now they're going to snap it just outside the 10 at the 12-yard line, and they'll have to get to the 2. They can still gain a first down without a touchdown.
I just wonder when we're finally going to get the shot clock in high school basketball. But anyway.
Awesome looking to get outside and does at the 10. He'll get it into the end zone, but it's coming back for another holding penalty.
Yeah, I think the shot clock is about 30 years overdue in high school basketball, but,
Well, and honestly, Leck, a lot of the NFHS does implement a shot clock in high school basketball, but IHSAA is late to the party.
Yeah, there are states that do it, but Indiana not being one of them yet.
Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion, I'd rather see them go back to a maybe not no-class basketball, but maybe a 2 or a 3-class basketball system, as I miss the good old days of, a game like maybe it would have been nice to see Cody Zeller versus Gordon Hayward in high school, something like that.
Oh, yeah, and, I think, got to pass over to the right side. He's taking it to the end zone, and I think he's knocked out a bounce out about the 4.
Yeah, call him out at about the
that was Nathan Dennison there.
Yeah, Dennison again with the big reception.
He's listed as a senior. You don't see a lot of seniors in JV ball. But I guess they want to give him some game action.
And here's the handoff up the middle to Awesome. He gets forward. He's wrapped up. He's close to a first down. And it's going to be very close. They might need to measure it. The Quakers will go quickly unless they have to get a measurement. It's going to be 3rd and short, looks like. And they're going to give him a first down, so give him 1st and goal at the 2. And the Quakers will go with 2 receivers to either side, faking the handoff. Passes to Dennison, but he can't quite make the catch. And it's going to be incomplete.
So 2nd and 10 now, 2nd and goal now for the Quakers. Trying to take a 2-possession lead here late in the first half. Got 2 receivers to the left. Quarterback in shotgun. Takes it. Now he looks to the center. Now he goes around to the left. And he's brought down for a big loss of about 5 or 6 yards or so. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal at about the 8.
Yeah, the Quakers went with the Wildcat formation there and couldn't get the sweep outside for a gain.
So now let's see. We've got Gage, Jacobs, and Brigham Wiest out to the right. And now a sack there, so the Pioneers defense coming alive here. It'll be 4th and goal here at about at the 13, so 2 big tackles for loss by the Pioneers. They're trying to stay within 1 possession.
And they'll bring the quarterback Dalton back onto the field, and they'll go for it here on 4th and goal from the 12.
So I guess Plainfield just doesn't have much of a kicker on JV right now. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 running back. Drops back. And he's got a man open, but he's going to be brought down for a loss. Knocked out of bounds for about a 2 or 3 yard loss, and the Pioneers take over. So the first 3 possessions of this game resulted in touchdowns. The last 4 resulted in turnovers, 2 interceptions by the Pioneers, and 2 turnovers on downs by the Quakers.
And we want to thank Gunnell and Kinnaman LLP. The financial accounting and tax and wealth manager is available to answer questions you may have when it comes to retirement. Their phone number is 317-203-4433, and their email is info@gkfin.com.
So 2 receivers to each side now, 1 running back, quarterback in shotgun. So pass, and he's off the fingertips there of, who was that? That was, okay, that was Gage there, incomplete. So 2nd and 10 now. Pioneers trying to get something going, trying to get the lead back. Throwing interceptions on their last 2 possessions, but they only trail by 5. And it was incomplete. I couldn't tell from my vantage point. It was on the other side of the field. He had to get down low on the ground, but didn't quite get it. Carson Goodman, a junior, is the quarterback for Mooresville. He's had some good moments, but like I said, 2 interceptions here in the second quarter. 3rd and 10 now for the Pioneers, trying to avoid. They do have all 3 timeouts left, as does Plainfield. So now they hurry up into formation. With 2 seconds on the play clock, they just get it off, or maybe they didn't. No, they called a timeout. Yeah, they really rushed into formation there. So I guess they decided they better call the timeout rather than risk, a sloppy play with 1:21 here to go in the first half. Plainfield on top 12-7. Quakers with 2 touchdowns and 2 failed 2-point conversions. I'll tell you, in the 5 years that I called Plainfield while they were kicking, I don't think I saw either of the Hagee brothers ever miss an extra point. Morgan, in fact, I know John, I believe, was 41 for 41 or something like that last year. It was in the low 40s. And I rarely saw, I don't think I ever saw, no, that's not true. I think I saw John miss like a 38-yarder one time, but other than that, I don't think I saw either of the Hagee brothers miss inside 45 yards.
We also want to thank Hoosier Tent and Party Rental at 101042 Bradford Road in Avon. Been serving Hendricks County for 16 years. They have all your party rental needs. Call them at 317-272-9746 for your 2018 graduation party needs.
So Mooresville, 3rd and 10, trying to avoid, trying to get a score or at least prevent Plainfield from getting the ball for the rest of the half. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now my broadcast partner, Marcus Fredwell, taking his sweatshirt off as well, as I already took mine off. And now it's through the hands, so dropped pass there. Bringing up 4th and 10, so presumably the Pioneers will punt here. But I'll tell you, if I were sitting in the stands, I'd probably still have the my hoodie on, but the problem is I'm just soaking up all the heat, sunlight from the glass, and it's just very hot in here.
Well, all the sun and none of the breeze.
Yes.
That's one of the things you get in the press box.
So now a punt from the goal line. It's a good punt. It goes at the 48, then bounces well past the midfield down to about the 35. It's still rolling, dies at the 34. So that's a punt. That'll officially be about a
give him 51 on the punt there, Leck.
Yeah. Yeah, he it went about 45 yards before it bounced. Plainfield
and right on cue, the helpful press box getting the windows open as soon as we say something about the lack of breeze.
Thanks.
I tell you what, it's a class act here at Plainfield. Every time you need something, they give it to you. With it, whether it's statistics, a window, some hospitality, whatever you need, you can get it here at Plainfield. A great program here, and we really appreciate them allowing us to come and help them out, getting varsity and JV games alike on the air.
Indeed, yes, absolutely. Definitely a class act, and I consider myself to be an honorary Quaker. And right now, hold that thought to display. So there's a great effort there to find something, but unfortunately he didn't find anything after running about 50 yards all around the backfield, and he's ended up being brought down for a gain of about they brought him down for a loss of 5. So great effort nevertheless there by Dalton. With 35 seconds to go, Plainfield not taking a timeout.
Trips at the top of the field. Dalton passes to the near side. He's got his receiver, Brigham.
He should have gotten out of bounds.
And he couldn't quite get out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7.
So the clock still ticks. Under 20 seconds now. And it looks like Plainfield's not even going to try, at least not try hard. They're not taking their timeouts, even though they have all 3.
Yeah, they will likely run the last play of the half, as this is inside 7 seconds now. Down to 5, now 4, and they'll snap it and run the pitch play on the outside. And there goes, that was Brandon Denman.
And that's the end of the half.
Denbrook, excuse me, and that'll end the half there for the Quakers. And after a lot of scoring quickly, the defenses hold strong, and we have a 12-7 score at halftime.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it started off, a wild and woolly game, and then it turned into a turnover fest with 4 consecutive turnovers, 2 on interceptions by the Pioneers, 2 on downs by the Quakers. So now we got the 10-minute halftime here.
So we'll start out that halftime by reading some message from our sponsors, and then we'll get to a first half recap. I will recap my game at Tri-West last night, and then we'll have a little bit of talk about where we're going to be at next week and what you have to look forward to in those. So first thing we want to do is thank our sponsors. For more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction has engaged in building homes and remodeling projects. Wicker Construction works with the client to understand their lifestyle and construction needs. Their phone number is 317-839-8353. Jimmy John's offers delivery and catering. They're located at 2683 East Main Street next to BW3s and open from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. More information can be found by giving them a call at 317-837-8282 or online at www.jimmyjohns.com. Gunnell and Kinnaman Financial, accounting, tax, and wealth managers is available to answer questions you may have when it comes to retirement. Their phone number is 317-203-4433, and email is info@gkfin.com. Hoosier Tent and Party Rental Company is located at 101042 Bradford Road in Avon. Been serving Hendricks County for over 16 years. They have all your party rental needs. Call them at 317-272-9746 for your 2018 graduation party needs. That's 317-272-9746. And so Marcus Fredwell with Lex Zorn back here at Plainfield High School, just south of Avon High School on 267 here in southwestern Indianapolis, I guess is what you would call it, just west of the Indianapolis International Airport. A new and beautiful airport, might I add, that they've remodeled and I would say within the last 10 or so years, and it looks really nice. It's much more has much more flow, and it looks like right now you can see some of the Plainfield varsity players down there on the field getting some practice kicks in and stuff like that that they may not get in on the weekday practices. So we'll let you check that out while we talk about the halftime information. First half, we don't necessarily have stats for you from the first half, but we do have a little bit of a recap. The first drive of the game was taken down by the Quakers. A quick drive, just a few plays as they ran it and passed it all the way down, I would say about 5 or so plays, and got into the end zone. Unsuccessful 2-point try, however, moved it to made it a 6-0 game, and that was followed up by a more methodical 10 or so play drive by the Pioneers of Mooresville, who took it in for a touchdown and hit the extra point to make it 7-6. The very next drive, the Plainfield Quakers moved the ball well once again and got it down inside the 5 and punched it in for another score, and that made it actually, no, that was a long carry by Ricky Alsom that made it a score of 12-7, and that's where we stand right now, as the Quakers were unsuccessful on their second 2-point try, and we have a 12-7 ball game. So, Lek, what names and what did you see a lot of in the first half?
Well, obviously, I always love doing these games because you get a look at the future of the program, and probably the player who caught my eye the most was actually with Mooresville, Kyler Evans, the very promising sophomore wide receiver. And I think that, I think Coach Gillen is going to make a lot out of that young man over these next couple of years, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of great moments on the varsity squad. But as for Plainfield, Ricky Alsom had some great moments, and obviously, Coach Woodard is one of the best coaches in the state at developing running backs, all the great ones we've had over the years. Just since I've been commentating the Quakers, Austin Blevins, Jacob Maple, Josh Miller, among others, and now Dawson Anderson, Tavian Gadia, just to name a few. And so he looked very good, and I think Nate Dalton, the quarterback, he's done some good things, and he'll have a year of eligibility after Ben Slayton graduates. And it should be noted that Coach Woodard, he's had some good quarterbacks before, like Brady Nicholson, who went on to play for Franklin College. But he's
Gabe
also
Cunningham.
had years where he didn't have much at quarterback at all, where he had to rely almost exclusively on his rushing games. So after Ben Slayton graduates, Dalton could have a chance to get in there and really do some big things in a couple of years when he's a senior. So
yeah, and as you mentioned, he's a great developer of running backs, and I also have seen him have some time with quarterbacks. When I was first starting with audiosportsonline.com, was our first year covering Plainfield, and the Plainfield Quarterback Club, I believe it is, put it on, and it was a great production. And one of the things that you saw the most was Gabe Cunningham, the quarterback. In the first year, it was Coach Woodard's second year at the school, or maybe it was his third or fourth year. But it reminds me of the offense they run right now. Reminds me a little bit of that, as it's a lot of misdirection, a lot of motion. And it does a nice job of getting some open running lanes for his running backs and gives them a chance to bring the ball down the field. And that's why you see guys like Alsom and Gadia and Dawson Anderson have big games. And, and I also want to point out that every time that I have had a chance to have a correspondence with Coach Woodard, very cordial, very prompt in his responses of emails.
Yes, yes, very.
And always gives you exactly what you're looking for. I know every time I get a chance, I email a coach in the week prior to the game. I'll email him and ask him 3 questions. And the good thing about Coach Woodard is he always gives you a couple answers to each question. And that's one thing that I like, and he gives you exactly what you're looking for. As long as you give him an open-ended question, he'll give you plenty of an open-ended answer.
That's good. Yeah, I've never asked coaches questions. I do in the early days. I often ask them for statistics, and now almost all schools put their statistics on Max Prep, so I don't even have to do that. However, when I do commentate Plainfield, I ask Coach Woodard because they keep such thorough statistics. They really break it down to about everything you could want to know.
Right. Absolutely.
And I like to look on the Wikipedia page to get like trivia about the school, famous alumni, things like that, because I'm heavily influenced by the late great Casey Kasem from his American Top 40 broadcasts. I always loved all the information he gave about the songs and artists. I thought that really enhanced my listening experience, and that's why I listened so regularly as a kid when I was digging the pop music scene, and now enjoy listening to the rebroadcasts of his old episodes. And I try to bring a lot of his flavor into my sports broadcasting by trying to find trivia that I think will make the broadcast more interesting.
Well, and here's a little piece of Plainfield trivia for you. I believe it was the 1999 3A basketball state champion Quakers that boasted a outstanding guard who went on to Michigan named Gavin Groniger, and Gavin was outstanding for the Quakers. I remember watching him play when I was probably, in 99, I would have been 10 years old, going on 11, and watching that young man, or that old man play when I was that age, but watching him play the game was a very fun thing for me, and I remember watching him just pull up from, nowadays you call it the volleyball lines, but 7, 8, 10 feet outside the three-point arc, and just swishing it nothing but net effortlessly. And that's one of the things about Indiana, is that no matter what school you go to, no matter how good their football program or baseball program is, they're always going to have at least one kid on the basketball team that can fill it up from the outside. And that's one thing I love about the state of Indiana.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, a big example, Rob Kindle and I commentated Cloverdale at Cascade last year, and a senior for Cloverdale, Cooper Neese, and now a freshman at Butler. About a minute or so into the game, I had looked at his statistics. I knew he was a 30-point-a-game guy committed to Butler, so I knew he had to be good. But about a minute into the game, he pulled up maybe 5 feet inside the midcourt line, and he just shot it up casually and swished it. And both Rob and I almost fell out of our seats, and you could tell we had a joint hysterical reaction to it. And
just a jaw-dropping moment.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in 39 years of watching basketball, that's not counting buzzer-beating shots, that's the longest shot I've ever seen even attempted, and he swished it. So
yeah,
really looking forward to seeing how Cooper Neese does at Butler. And
absolutely.
It's one of my great joys. This is my 6th season of commentary now. It's been a great joy for me to see guys who I commentated in high school, and girls too, playing in college. And I hopefully someday I'll see some of these guys play in the NBA or the NFL. Actually, Zach Irvin, who I commentated in high school, he's signed with an NBA team. I don't remember which one, Orlando maybe. And hopefully he'll make the team. He had a very fine career at Michigan, set the school record for most games played in a career with 141. And yeah, I saw him as a senior at Hamilton Southeastern.
Well, and as we get ready to go for the second half here, that's one thing that you'll see is a lot of kids and that will go on to play high school, that play high school football and basketball, that will go on to play in college. Gary Harris, one of those kids that went to Michigan State and Hamilton Southeastern, and he played both football and basketball and was being recruited heavily as the kickoff goes for about 20 yards and is covered up by the Pioneers. That's where they'll take over 1st and 10 on the near side hash mark at their own 40.
Hey, the year I commentated Hamilton Southeastern back in 2012, 2013, they had candidates for both Mr. and Miss Basketball with Zach Irvin and then Taya Reimer, who went on to Notre Dame and now plays at Michigan State.
Yep, Taya Reimer was a good one in the Hoosier Crossroads back then, as well as Stephanie Mavunga, a couple of very good power forward center type position players. And here come the Pioneers early, and it's a handoff and gets up the middle and easily gains about 15 yards. Credit number 21 on the carry, and that is Devin White for the Pioneers on his first carry of the day. And give him credit with 15 and a first down for the Pioneers.
So now Mooresville lines up 2 receivers to each side.
So possibly a situation where White saw some varsity time last night, as he is a junior, and that's why he couldn't play very much in the first half, as you only are allowed 5 quarters a week combined between JV and varsity, both basketball and football, or 5 quarters a day in basketball, but 5 quarters a week in football. So if you play in 4 quarters of the varsity game, you can play in 1 quarter of the JV game, but most guys won't get time in that varsity game.
And I guess that's why a lot of times when a guy's doing really well in JV, they'll only play him for like a half.
Right. because you still want to get them that experience, such as Kyler Evans. And here's a fake handoff this time from Goodman looking for the hitch route. He's got his man outside. Give him credit with a 15-yard pass and catch, and they're going to have him down at about the 30-yard line. A quick strike there from Goodman to his wide receiver Gage, and that's going to be a first down for the Pioneers.
I'll tell you, the best player I've ever commentated, I think, in any sport is Isaiah Callaway, a wide receiver at Whiteland. I'll hold that thought after this play.
And under center is going to be Goodman this time with his running back in the backfield. That's White behind him. And White's going to get it's going to be a fake handoff. Goodman's going to roll out to the near side, looking to get rid of it, and does so to his tight end. It's caught, and he is hit hard at about the 25-yard line. Coming up from his defensive back position for the Quakers is number 5, Gage Jacobs, laying a smack on that play, and you might have even heard that all the way up here in the press box.
Yeah, I sure heard it.
Some of us felt it out here. That was a smack laid out there, and it's going to be second down and about 4.5 from the 25 of the Quakers. Shotgun formation this time with a running back in the backfield. That's White. Goodman hands it off to White up the middle. White gets forward, moves his feet, runs into a pile, and he's short of the first down at the 23. Just shy of the 23. Call it third down and 3 to go.
Well, Mooresville, hard to believe that they're, after those 2 interceptions, they're only down by 5. If they get a touchdown here, they got the lead here in the second half.
Double twin formation for the Pioneers. 2 receivers off the line of scrimmage in the slot. 2 receivers on the line of scrimmage split out. Pass to the slot. And a slot receiver is going to be wrapped up in the backfield on the bubble screen. And it's going to be shy of the first down. He loses 2 yards. It's going to be 4th and 5 now from the 25. 4th and 6 from the 26 of the Quakers. That was 82 Dan Swindle on the catch, but he loses about 2. It's going to be 4th and 5. Let's look for the Quakers to get a big stop here. And the PA man riling up the Quaker faithful here as they look to get a big 4th down stop here. Goodman fakes the handoff to White, looking to roll out, throws it up, looking for his man, close. And it's not even going to be close.
There apparently was some major miscommunication there between him and Evans.
Well, and he was on the run, so that's a tough throw to make from where he was to a double-covered wide receiver. It looks to me like he may have just thrown that one out of bounds to give his defense a chance to make a stop.
That could be as well, so.
Just over 5 to play here in the third quarter, I believe.
I
At
think
least that's
6,
what it looks
actually.
Like. Is it 6?
Like I said, in the sun, it is hard to discern the 5s from the 6s, but I believe it's a 6. 6, yes. Thank you.
So 6:03-ish.
Got very helpful people here in the booth with us tonight.
6-ish minutes today. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 at the top of the field. Awesome gets the handoff up the middle. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, keeps his legs moving. Now he's backpedaling, still keeps his legs moving. And he gets it forward and has a first down out to the 38-yard line. Give him credit with a 12-yard carry and a first down for the Quakers. Ricky ran it straight up the middle, and the Quakers will go quickly once again. 3 receivers split to the near side. Awesome flanks Dalton in the backfield, and Awesome gets a carry once again. He breaks a couple tackles in the backfield, breaks another tackle across the line of scrimmage, and Hill will be stopped, but not until he gains about 4. Call it second down and about 6 yards to go, and the Quakers will go quick. 3 receivers will split out to the top of the field. Awesome flanks Dalton to his right in the backfield. And alone on the bottom of the field is Dennison. Awesome does not get the handoff. Dennison gets the screen pass, and he is wrapped up by Kyler Evans, but he gets forward for a gain of about 2. It's going to be third down and call it about.
And he gets up limping there. That's
that's not good.
That's Nathan Dennison.
Yeah, that's Nathan Dennison. That's not good. They're going to have to find a sub for him.
Yeah, he hurried off the field on his own power. And now Connor Cooney coming into the game.
Connor Cooney will be coming into the game. Yeah, there's 3 receivers to the top of the field. Cooney on his lonesome to the near side. Awesome flanks Dalton in the backfield. Dalton calls the signal. Hands it off up the middle to Awesome. He's met near the line of scrimmage. Keeps his legs moving, though, but he's going to be shy of the first down at the 47. It's going to be fourth down and just about a yard to go. Give him just less than a yard as the Quakers will go for it here on fourth down. Similar formation as there's 3 receivers to the top of the field, 1 to the bottom, and Awesome flanking Dalton in the backfield. Handoff goes to Awesome. He's got enough for the first down.
Got it.
That's going to be good for a Quaker first down at the 49-yard line, and that's where they'll have it 1st and 10 as they move the ball right along here. A nice fourth down gain. And 3 receivers will come out to the bottom of the field. No, now they'll split out 2 to each side. Nope, now they'll split out 3 to the top of the field. Trips left. And 1 receiver alone at the top. Pistol formation this time with Awesome behind Dalton in the backfield. Dalton takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff to Awesome. The wingback comes out of the backfield, and he almost had a catch, but he's hit hard by Kyler Evans and as among others on the play, Ian Barthel and Reese Condon coming up to make some hits, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. So the Quakers will split out 3 receivers to the near side. Awesome is going to be in the slot this time. 1 receiver at the top of the field. And look for a possible double pass here as we had a pass into the backfield, and he's going to be come up and hit by Devin White. A fumble is going to be the call on the play because it was a backwards pass.
Well, late in the third quarter here, 3:40 to go, still no scoring since the first quarter.
Yeah, we had a couple quick scores and then a defensive struggle since then as both teams have moved the ball down near the red zone, but a couple of turnovers for the Pioneers and a turnover on downs or 2 for the Quakers have kept us locked at 12-7, where the Quakers lead it with 3:40 to go in the third quarter. And some confusion from the officials on that previous play. So, an inadvertent whistle during the play. So, what was a 5-yard loss will be turned into a replay of the down, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 now, as that is much to the chagrin of the Mooresville faithful. And the Pioneer fans want to know why, but nonetheless, here is the pass out on the swing screen to Awesome, but they'll lose yardage once again. But instead of 3rd and 17, it's going to be 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 from about the 44-yard line. Ball was originally spotted at the 44. Now it's at the 43. So 3rd and just about 12. Here's the snap. Cunningham pumps, sends it deep down the field to Dennison, and he's got it, but it's incomplete. There's going to be a flag on the play. It's either going to be interference or, it's going to be illegal contact on not Tri-West, but Mooresville, as contact was made after the 5-yard mark. And, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for the Quakers.
Yeah, that's one rule I'd like to see. I'd like to see it become a spot foul like in the NFL.
Yeah, because like in high school, what you can do is if you're beat 40 yards down the field, you can just tackle your man or trip him up somehow, and it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down, but you save a touchdown.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so 2 receivers split out to each side of the formation with Awesome in the backfield. Dalton sends a man in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep once again, and he's looking to get outside, but he can't. Oh, but he can maybe. He was originally going to be dropped for a loss of about 6 or 7, but he gets forward, and it looks like it's going to be a 0 gain on the play.
He showed a lot of speed there. He did a good job staying,
Absolutely.
And just basically making something out of nothing. It could have been a loss. He got back to the line of scrimmage. 2:38 to go now and counting here in the third quarter. 12-7, Plainfield up, trying to get a 2-possession lead.
Here's the snap back. It's going to be a fake handoff and a screen now to the outside receiver. He's wrapped up. He breaks out of a tackle, and he gets forward for a gain of about 4. And it's going to be a 3-yard gain. Call it 3rd and 7 from the 36-yard line of the Pioneers. The Quakers will move it once again quickly.
Yeah, I think in this game, anytime when you're at your own 40 or further down, it's 4-down territory. So
yeah, and we're inside of 2 minutes in the third.
We got a whistle here.
And an equipment whistle. No, it's going to be a blood timeout. So unlike in wrestling, you can't just stop the game. What they're going to do is make 25 come out, and he will have to get the blood addressed real quickly, and then he'll be able to come back out on the field. But Swindle comes in at the safety position, and I might look for the Quakers to try to test him deep here. So 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. A pump and go again. Dalton's going to look deep for his man. He can't get him. It's over his arms, and it's thrown out of bounds, so that's why the official will hang on to his flag there. But it's going to be 4th down and 7.
Yeah, so Plainfield in danger of turning it over on downs again.
So I promise you guys, I will at the quarter break, I will mention some things about the Tri-West game last night, as I've already said several times that I would, but I promise I will this time.
And if I have time, I'll say a couple more things about the Cascade-Brown County game as well.
Nobody cares, Leck. No, I'm just kidding.
So now 4th and 8. Drops Bass, throws up the middle, and it's incomplete. So the Pioneers take over on downs once again. That's at least 3 turnovers on downs by Plainfield today. 1:49 to go here in the third quarter. So the Pioneers take over in relatively good field position. They will take the lead with a touchdown, regardless of the conversion.
I know that sounded really rude of me, but those of you who know me, and Leck does, know me, know that I am full of sarcasm and facetiousness. So,
so we got a nice crowd for Labor Day weekend here. You figure a lot of people are probably on vacation, but
Well, and Leck, I pulled in the parking lot at 9:30, and there was not a person in the stands on either side. Plainfield's team was off the field.
They got a first down there to start off the drive and that was who was that for Mooresville? The number that was Camden Schmidt. Go ahead though.
Yeah, there wasn't a fan on either side. Plainfield's entire team was in the locker room. All that was on the field was the Mooresville JV team and the Plainfield cheerleaders. So when I got here, for a moment I thought I may be in the wrong place, but I saw enough cars and a Mooresville bus to recognize where we were.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
So 2 receivers split out to the near side, 1 to the top of the field, a tight end, and the handoff goes up the middle to the running back. He gets forward. He's got a nice gain out for about 10, call it 12. He's at the 40-yard line of the Quakers and they'll have a first down. Credit Gregory on that carry.
Well, I got here just a few minutes after you did, and people are starting to fill in. But, yeah, it's great that, we got as many people here. We probably have maybe a couple hundred Plainfield fans and about 75 Mooresville fans across the field in the visiting bleachers made the trip up. I guess about 15, 20 minutes.
A beautiful Labor Day weekend we've got here so far. 2 receivers split to the top of the field, 1 to the near side. A tight end flanks the backfield. And here's the pass to the far side.
He's got something here.
And he's got something. He's got some room at the 20. Breaks a tackle down to the 15, inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And there's no laundry on the field, so he'll have a first down.
40.5 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Looks like we're going to have a barn burner of a finish here this morning in Plainfield. The Pioneers trying to get the lead back. They had it 7-6. There's been no scoring since the first quarter.
And under center is going to go Goodman once again. He's got Gregory in the backfield, 3 receivers to the near side, sends 1 in motion toward the far side. It's going to be a handoff to Gregory. Gregory goes to the near side. He runs over a man at the 15 down to the 10, and he's inside the 10 at the 9, and he'll be 2nd and 5 from there.
So 24 seconds to go and counting here in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Pioneers. They line up now. They got 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 1 running back, quarterback under center.
Goodman
sends
him
hands off up the middle, and he's going to be down close to the 5, and that will be the end of the quarter. So 10 minutes to play here in Plainfield. Your Quakers clinging to a 12-7 lead over the Mooresville Pioneers in junior varsity football action here on audiosportsonline.com.
We want to thank Wicker Construction, one of our sponsors here. As for more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction is engaged in building homes and remodeling projects. Wicker Construction works with the client to understand their lifestyle and construction needs. Phone number is 317-839-8353. Jimmy John's delivers and caters, offers delivery and catering, and they're located at 2683 East Main in Plainfield next to BW3s and open from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday through Sunday. And for more information, you can find them at 317-837-8282 or online at jimmyjohns.com. Also, Gunnell and Kinnaman Financial, accounting, tax, and wealth management is available to answer questions you may have when it comes to retirement. Their phone number is 317-203-4433. You can email at info@gkfin.com. So a little bit about that Tri-West game that I've been promising all night. We mentioned that all 6 Hendricks County teams won last night, and Tri-West was no different. Head coach Tyler Bruce, in his first season overall as a head coach, also obviously his first at Tri-West. That's his alma mater. He graduated from there in 2007. In 2004, he led as a sophomore. He led in the 2004-2005 school year. He led his Tri-West Bruins to a state title. And here go the Pioneers as a handoff up the middle goes to White. And he's got a first down. He's close to the end zone, but he's short. And it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1. But again, Tyler Bruce in his 3rd head coaching game last night got his first career victory at Tri-West, his alma mater. It was a nice win for them as they took a 17-0 lead into halftime after a couple of big first-half plays and a long 39-yard field goal. They came out of halftime in the 3rd quarter and scored 28 unanswered points to take a 45-0 lead. And Logan Robertson threw the ball all over the field last night as White gets the handoff up the middle, and he'll be in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown for the Pioneers, and they now lead at 13-12. And they will bring on the field goal kicker to kick this one through the uprights.
He did it the first
one. We'll finish up the Tri-West story. So they had a 45-0 lead at the end of the 3rd quarter. They went on to give up a touchdown early in the 4th and another one late in the 4th, but they finished out with a 45-13 victory. Tyler Bruce getting his first win. Again, Logan Robertson having a big game. Tyler Watson also with a big game. And as well as Sam Fulton, the running back, had a big game. Seemed like every time Fulton touched the ball and ran it up the middle, he had a big hole and ran it for a big gain. A big Tri-West defensive and offensive line was the story of the game last night for that one.
Yeah, I was Tri-West's main radio commentator last year, and they had Fulton and Watson were about their only significant offensive stars who didn't graduate. And now watch snap, and he's they try to run it in, but now let's see. This is an odd play. Screen pass over. He's got some room on the right side, but he's brought down at a 5. That was even wilder than that play earlier that you asked me to describe, and I couldn't. So let's see. We had a mishandled snap, and then I think 2 pitchbacks, and then a screen pass that returned brought up to the 5, but tackled for a loss. Nevertheless, Mooresville does have the lead, 13-12, 9:24 to go. So Quakers need to get something going on offense. And they need to finish a drive this time.
Just like they drew it up, Leck.
It's one of those things. Had that actually, gone, had that been a successful conversion, that might have been, ESPN Play of the Day material.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks to our great camera work, you might have had a chance to see it. Unsportsmanlike penalty going to be called on the Pioneers, so that will be a big advantage for the Quakers on the ensuing kickoff. As the Pioneers will now have to kick off from their own 25-yard line, and they haven't had a kick that made it farther than a 25 yet. So look for the Quakers to get really good field position this time, as they will probably catch this ball near their own 40.
And Marcus, one of the worst things you can do when your opponent's on a drive to try to come back is to give them free yards
before you even start the drive.
Yeah, I mean, last night, Cascade was up on Brown County 15-0 in the final minutes. And on the last drive, they had, on the last offensive possession for Brown County, Cascade committed 2 personal fouls. So they gave Brown County 30 free yards that helped them score. And
up by only 7.
What's that?
Up by only 7.
Yeah, so then
and Gallman gets a deep boot into this one, and he gets it all the way back down to the 15, where it's taken by a Quaker. He gets to the near side at the 30, across the 35 down to the 40, and the Quakers will start this possession with good field position at their own 41, but a really nice kick there by Gallman, and a good return for the Quakers by number 27, Logan Burden, and it's going to be a first down and 10 for the Quakers at the 41. Let continue.
Oh, but anyway, so the thing is, you take away those 30 free yards, Brown County probably never scores. They did finally get the score, and had they recovered the onside kick, they would have had the ball with a chance to tie or win with the touchdown of the 2. Fortunately, Cascade recovered the onside kick and ran out the clock, but the thing is, they should have never been in a position where they had to recover the onside kick.
3 receivers to the top of the field. Dalton sends a man
in
motion,
got a sack.
Now he's wrapped up and sacked in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Mooresville, after the first quarter, Mooresville's done – they've had 4 or 5 really big defensive plays.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They've come up when they needed to, and right there they needed to, as that's going to be a 7-yard loss on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 17 from the 35-yard line of the Quakers. Clock dwindles down inside of 9 minutes now. Here comes a handoff up the middle to Awesome. He cuts to the right, stiff arms a man, now runs over a man. And after all that, give him credit with only 3 yards on the carry, give him 4. It's going to be 3rd and 13 now for the Quakers as they look to move it quickly.
Very big 3rd and long here.
3 receivers split to the near side of the field. 1 receiver at the top of the field alone is Dennison back in the game. Awesome flanks Dalton in the backfield. Dalton calls the hard count, can't get him to jump, so he looks to the sideline. They'll go ahead and give him the all clear and run that play. Awesome switches sides. And Dalton calls the snap count. Fakes the handoff. Now looks far side to Dennison. Dennison breaks the tackle. He gets away at the 50. Down to the 40. Inside of the 40 to the 45. Down to the 41-yard line. And that's a first down for the Quakers. They move the ball inside of 8 minutes. Now inside of the Quaker 35-yard line. They go quickly once again. Nice pass and catch there from Dalton to Dennison. And Dalton will get back quickly in the shotgun. Here comes Awesome. No, Dalton going to drop back, looking on the back shoulder fade. And Dennison had a chance, but he lost his edge. For hockey fans, you know what I'm talking about. He couldn't quite get the footing, and he slipped out. Couldn't get back to his back shoulder on that pass. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yes, and of course, that reminds me. Last night, the game I commentated was played in the rain, so there was a lot of things like that happened last night. And I think it contributed to Cascade's win because Brown County's a much more heavily passing-oriented team, and that really, I think, disrupted their passing attack as Plainfield gets about 3 or 4 yards up the middle.
Yeah, there goes Awesome up the middle and give him about 4 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and manageable. 6 yards to go from the 30-yard line, and the Quakers will go quickly with trips to the near side, and Dennison alone at the top of the field. Awesome will get the handoff up the middle again. He's going to get about 3 again. He's going to be just shy of the first down. He's at the 28-yard line, and the Quakers will have it 4th down at about 3.5 yards to go. They've got to get to just short of the 24-yard line, and Awesome will flank Dalton in the backfield. Dalton dropping back to pass, looking, has a man. He's got to break a couple tackles if he's going to get the first down, and he won't. Oh, he will.
Wow.
He cuts back.
Oh, my
He's
God.
at the 25. He cuts back at the 20. The 15, 10, 5.
Oh.
Touchdown, Quakers. What an incredible pass and catch. Dylan Swanson, I thought he was wrapped up, but he cut back across. 85 on the catch.
Conway.
That was Cameron Conway on the catch and run. And a beautiful play. The Quakers have a chance to push their lead to 7 now.
Now that is
just over
ESPN
6.5 to go.
Material.
That was a beautiful play, and I hope it was a good call for me, as that was a great pass and catch. He caught it on the near sideline. There was about 4 Pioneers. They wrapped him up, spun him around. He kept his feet, moved across the line of scrimmage, through several blockers, cut back at the 20 inside, and got all the way to the end zone for an impressive touchdown catch and run.
You know, to me, the ultimate example of somebody who it looked like was down and ended up scoring a touchdown in the Orange Bowl it was New Year's Day, 1996, when Nebraska. I don't remember who Nebraska was playing, but anyway, Tommy Frazier was wrapped up by about their sensational option quarterback was wrapped up by about 5 guys, and it looked like he was down, and then he broke 3 from all of them and ran all the way for the touchdown. And on a replay, you could see that he was laughing on his way to the end zone. And sadly, he never made the NFL because it was discovered he had a blood clotting problem. But man, what a great option! One of the great option quarterbacks in college football history.
Absolutely. And that was an impressive catch and run. Appreciate the shout out from the PA staff here at Plainfield. They are making sure that you can catch this on podcast. You probably heard the Audio Sports Online link right there, and that may be one of the reasons that you're catching us via podcast right now. We appreciate you listening to us here on audiosportsonline.com. We appreciate everybody here at Plainfield for helping us make this happen. And the Quakers will go for 2 from the near side hash mark. Pistol formation with Awesome in the backfield, 2 receivers each side. Dalton takes the snap. He'll drop back to pass, looking to the end zone. He's got his man out of the backfield. And
dropped
Awesome can't quite come up with the catch. So it's going to be a requirement that the Quakers get a stop here. They cannot give up a touchdown here with 6:44 to play and a 5-point lead to have the Quakers.
Yeah, so only 5 touchdowns scored today by the 2 teams combined, only 1 conversion point. That was Mooresville was good on their first extra point, then ended up on a bad snap having a failed 2-point conversion last time. Plainfield's failed on all 3 of their 2-point conversion attempts. Of course, that's one thing, at some of the lower levels of football, the conversions aren't automatic, and that adds a lot of drama to the game.
Right.
Of course, the NFL, now that they've moved back the PAT, not quite as automatic. Still pretty close, but
right.
I remember
unless you kick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
but
it's always an adventure.
Do you, Marcus? Do you remember the XFL?
Absolutely.
Well,
one of the greatest football entities in the history of football.
Yeah, the thing is, I think they could have made it work had they done some things differently, but. One interesting rule change they had is that there were no kicking conversions. You had to. You
had to go for 2.
Well, originally it was 1. It only counted for 1 as we got. I couldn't tell if that was a squib or an onside kick, but anyway, Mooresville recovers, brought down immediately at the 33. But basically, it was a 1-point conversion, but you had to run or pass it in, and then they changed it where you could have a 1-point conversion from the 2, a 2-point conversion from the 5, or a 3-point conversion from the 10. So there was a lot of drama involved by that.
The XFL had a short-lived history.
Yeah, 1 season to be exact.
And for those of you who are ESPN fans, you may have seen their XFL 30 for 30, which was a very, very intriguing thing. You had Matt Vasgersian on there, Vince McMahon, Jonathan Coachman, a lot of the personalities that had the XFL going. And here's a handoff to White on the near side, and he gets forward for a gain of about 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4 from the 40.
Yeah, I would love to see that because I thought the XFL could have worked. I think they made some very bad decisions. One of the star quarterbacks in the XFL was Jeff Brom, who I remembered from the University of Louisville from his playing days there, and then he went on to he's now the head coach at Purdue starting this season. I guess his first game might be today. I'm not sure.
Apologize, you may have lost the video feed just for a second as I accidentally turned off the power strip.
And their Mooresville's very close to a first down there.
But luckily that was in between plays, and Leck just mentioned the play for you there as Mooresville gets close but short of the first down.
But, Brom agreed with me that, they had – and Jeff Brom, when I talked to him, because he was the coach of the arena football team in Louisville, the Louisville Fire, back in 2000 and 2002. And he, now I'll hold that thought till after this play. But, yeah, he talked about a lot of the things that went wrong with the league,
Two receivers split to the near side. A tight end flanks the formation. A handoff up the middle to White. He's got a first down and more at the 50 down to the 45. He across the 45 down to the 41, and he'll be stopped at the Plainfield 41. Just over 5 to play here in the ball game.
But, yeah, basically, people forget the XFL had relatively good attendance. They pulled in about 25,000 fans a game. Their cable ratings were okay. It was just that they went prime time on NBC, and that's what killed it because they had tremendous losses because of that.
Well, and here go two receivers to each side of the formation. Under center goes Goodman again. He's going to hand it off up the middle to White. He gets forward again. He cuts across at the line of scrimmage.
Might have the first, depending on the spot.
First, yeah, they're going to give it to him at the 29. And the Quakers are going to need to come up with a big stop here as they're getting closer to the red zone.
But, yeah, for a first-year league with, to do prime time on a major network, it was just a disastrous move. And, of course, the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary on the USFL is very interesting as well, and even more so in retrospect for reasons I'll explain here.
Tight end, split out, double twin, and a pass to the near side slot is going to be, that was 82 again. Yeah, Dan Swindle on the reception, gain of about 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4 from the 24 as the the Pioneers inch closer to the Quaker red zone. And the clock is going to be inside of 3:50 when we snap the ball.
So if Mooresville gets a touchdown here, Plainfield's not going to have much time to answer.
And here's Goodman, hands it off again up the middle to White. He's stuffed this time at the line of scrimmage by the Plainfield defensive line. And the clock will still run. This next snap will go, and it'll probably be near 3 minutes when we snap the ball this time.
So we got a down-to-the-wire thriller here. So really what a great way for us to start off our Labor Day weekends. Friday night, the Friday night lights, and then the Saturday morning sun with high school football here in the great state of Indiana.
Goodman going to go under center. Going to be 3:05 on the clock when he snaps it. Rolls out. Rolling.
He's got room.
Looking. He's got room. He's going to have close to a first down. He's at the 20. Let's see where they spot it.
I thought he had it. It's going to be real close.
It's going to be really close. It's going to depend on the spot. It's just across the 20 at about the 19.5. And
wonder if they're going to do a measurement maybe. But, yeah. If you get a chance to watch the 30 for 30 documentary on the USFL, that's very interesting also, and even more so now because one of the principal role players in that documentary is now our president, Donald Trump, who is the owner of the New Jersey Generals, and a key figure in the USFL's fatal decision to go head-to-head with the NFL after 3 relatively successful spring seasons.
Well, they won one man. They got one man that they wanted, and that's Jim Kelly.
Yeah, and Herschel Walker, too.
What's that?
Herschel Walker
as well, that's right.
Yeah. In fact, Herschel Walker, I believe, still holds the all-time record for most rushing yards in a gridiron football season. He had about 2,500 with the Generals.
So we're going to have a 4th and short, and if the Quakers get a stop, it's going to be the game. Goodman under center. Takes the snap. Hands off up the middle. And I think he's going to have it.
I think he got it by, a very, very slim margin.
Clock stops at 2:53, and it's going to be
a
first down for the Pioneers, and they're in the red zone.
So barn burner of a finish coming up here.
Yeah, Leck, as you mentioned, a barn burner in store for us. There's going to be about 2.5 to go. As the ball is snapped, you may see the airplane coming in at the top of your screen right now. As Goodman under center, a tight formation.
Yeah, I got a shot
there
of it.
There it is. And here's the handoff to White. He cuts back. Oh, that's going to be it looked like a face mask, but I believe the Quakers are going to get away with one there as the official did not see it the same way, and it's going to be a loss of about 2. And a penalty flag is going to be thrown late. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on the sideline of
Mooresville, and that could cost them the game right there.
Oh, my God, I wonder what happened.
Mooresville had a coach come onto the sideline, and the fans at Mooresville are not happy, as it might have been a face mask that was missed by the official. He got rabbit ears all of a sudden as the Mooresville coach came off of the sideline, unhappy about it. And that brings up second down and about a mile and a half to go.
Second and 30, yeah.
38-yard line, and Goodman will roll out to pass. Turns his shoulders, looking to pass. Has a man. Ooh, a nice little pitch and catch there, as that'll make it third and about 12, as on the catch was number 32, Camden Schmidt.
That was a great job by the quarterback there to just stay up and, look for something, because
you're right, look. He kept his eyes downfield the whole time, and he was looking for a man, and he kind of floated it to his tight end who caught it in bounds.
It looked like maybe at first he was thinking of running out of bounds or just throwing it away, but he finally found something. And
it's going to be 3rd and 13 here, Leck, as it's inside of 2 minutes to go.
Inside of 90 seconds, in fact, yeah.
And here's a drop back from Goodman. He's looking to the end zone to Swindle. It's a jump ball. My goodness, almost caught, but broken up. And there's something on the field down there. I think it's a glove, though, or maybe it's a shoe. And an incomplete pass broken up at the end zone with 1:12 to go. And this is going to be 4th down and the game.
So
you're likely to see the Quakers not call for a timeout here, as they will go ahead and run the play, because if the Quakers are forced to if the Quakers do get the ball back, they will only have 2 timeouts remaining. But the Pioneers have all 3 of their timeouts and can stop the clock 3 more times.
That's right, yeah.
Goodman drops back to pass. He's looking deep again. He's got his man on the out route, and he overthrows him to the outside. And it's going to be 1st down for the Quakers.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Plainfield cannot kneel out the clock here. So it's not quite over yet.
They cannot kneel down. If they kneel down, they'll give the Pioneers the ball back with just under a minute to play across their own 50-yard line. We have not yet seen the Quakers punt the ball today, so that may be an adventure if they are forced to punt it on a 4th down. If the Quakers can pick up but 1 first down, they will have this one iced away. Got to stay in bounds, though, if you're a Quaker running back. You have to stay in bounds, and that's what Coach is over there talking about on the sideline. Play clock will wind. The clock is stopped at 1:07. Quakers lead it by 5. They need to hold on to the football first and foremost and stay in bounds second. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. It's going to be a handoff to Alsum here in just a second. Just kidding. Yep, nope. Faking the sweep. Alsum gets it, and Alsum could go at the 40. The 50,
yes.
45, 40, the 35, 30.
God.
Ricky Alsum will finish this game off with a bang and a 68-yard touchdown run. An 80-yard touchdown run for Ricky Alsum, who took it all the way on the misdirection handoff to finish it off for the Quakers.
Well, and it's first time all game either team has had a 2-possession lead. And
we were all that talk about keeping them from a first down, and the Quakers on 1st and 10 took it all the way to the house for I'm going to credit them with about an 80-yard touchdown run. And the Quakers will go for 2 here, as they have all day. Here's the snap, handoff to Alsum, a jump pass for his tight end. Oh, and it's incomplete. Shades of Cincinnati back in the day when Travis Kelce played tight end for him. There's a great YouTube video of I believe it was Isaiah Peed was the running back. He gets the handoff, runs toward the front of the line, and jumps and tosses it over to Travis Kelce for a big touchdown. That's what the Quakers were going for there, but the Quakers have just iced this game away as they lead it by 11 with 55 seconds to play.
Yeah, Mooresville for most of the game, they took away the big play, but, they sure gave it up on that play there at the end when all they had to do was force a 3-and-out to get the ball back with a chance to win it, but now they're down by 11, 55.3 seconds to go.
We'll take a second to thank each one of our sponsors once again. Wicker Construction, Jimmy Johns of Plainfield, Gunnell and Kinnaman Financial, as well as the Hoosier Tent and Party Rental Company. And here's the kick. It goes to the up back, and he is going to get it and take it forward at about the 30 to the 32, 33-yard line. And that's where the Pioneers will have it for their final series of the day.
So Mooresville needs 2 touchdowns. Well, they could tie with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, plus a field goal. They have 50 seconds to do it. They do have all 3 timeouts, but they need to get something going fast. But I want to tell the story before I forget. It's one of my favorite Mooresville stories, so I'll have to hold it till after this play. But anyway.
5 receivers split out in the formation, 3 to the bottom of the field, 2 to the top. Goodman alone in the backfield. He'll take the snap and drop back to pass. He's looking. He's got a man on the short hitch. That's Gregory. Gregory gets forward. He's short of the first down at the 42-yard line, and the clock will run under 40 seconds, now down to 35. And they'll go 5 wideouts once again.
I let a lot of the clock ran up under 25 seconds now.
Goodman dropping back to pass again. Looking, he finds his running back again on the flank. And he gets forward for a short gain, but he gets out of bounds.
So not
stop
good
the clock at 15 seconds.
Yeah, not good clock management by the Pioneers here. But anyway, the first time I ever commentated Mooresville was 4 years ago, and they played Decatur Central down at Mooresville, and Mooresville's starting quarterback was Cody Cannon. So I said about 100 times during the game, Cannon in shotgun. So definitely one of my favorite calls that I've ever made.
All right, so here come the Quakers. They'll come out. Here's the snap. Or the Pioneers will come out with the snap. Hook and ladder to Kyler Evans. He gets forward. He's going to be dragged down inbounds, and that'll be the last play of the ball game as the clock will dwindle down inside 5, now 4. And the Pioneers will call a timeout, try to run one more play, and get in the end zone to make this a little bit more respectable. We will have a short post-game show as we'll give you a quick wrap-up of what happened here. And 2 late scores by the Quakers proved to be the difference in the ball game this morning, this afternoon.
Yeah, so I guess Ricky Elsom will have to get our game ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He came up with a big play there to ice the game. His team, with 1:12 to go, had to get 1 first down to ice the game, and he did it by taking a handoff, going 79 yards for a score, and giving his coach Brian Woodard a piece of film to see how great he can be with the ball in his hands for the next couple years to come. Dawson Anderson, the senior, will graduate, and then Tavian Gadia will probably take over running back duties, but Alsam will be his spellback likely starting next year.
Well,
2 receivers to the bottom of the field, 2 receivers at the top. Running back flanks Goodman in the backfield. He'll stay in to block. Goodman going to look deep. Looking, has a man, and for the last play of the game, it'll be caught by Swindle, and that'll do it here from Plainfield High School, where the Quakers take a win home by a score of 24-13. Leck, wrap us up a little bit here.
Well, I'll tell you, it's nice for the Quakers to get the win, to come back, the way that they did here in the fourth quarter. Really, it's interesting, a very wild and woolly beginning, wild and woolly end. All the action really was in the first and fourth quarters. So, I got to give a lot of credit to Mooresville, though. I got to think that they're going to be moving up the ladder here under new head coach Mike Gillen, that he's going to make the Pioneers a consistent winner like they were under Mark Bless. They had a few coaching changes there that didn't work out. First with Kevin Hutchins, who then went back to Monrovia, won a state championship there. Now Chad Dockery, an assistant with the Quakers. But, maybe Mike Gillen is the answer. Certainly, the fact that after the varsity team lost by 40 tonight, that the JV team was much more competitive, had a fourth quarter lead tonight. Certainly it looks like, the program's moving in the right direction. But Plainfield, obviously, it's what you would expect. I mean, they always have a lot of guys waiting in the wings to, fill in whenever the current starters graduate. I mean, it's why they have such a long string of running backs. And now, hopefully with Ben Slayton, they're going to have a long string of marquee quarterbacks as well. And so the Quakers, obviously they returned to action I believe Roncalli is their next varsity opponent, and Roncalli won the Class 4A state championship last year. Yeah, they play at Roncalli next Friday night down on the south side of Indy. So hope you Quakers fans will get up to there. And meanwhile, I'm going to be out at Clayton to commentate Cascade against Cloverdale. As Cascade returns home next Friday to play Cloverdale, it should be a win for the Cadets, which would move them up to 2-2. And then, what are you going to be doing, Marcus?
Well, I will be on the. I believe I'm going to be at Fishers High School. Give me just a moment to confirm that. Got to find one of the 55 emails I've received from the one and only Rob Kendall. Yeah, going to be. I've got one right here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm at Fishers with HSE next Friday night for the conference rivalry, as the Fishers Tigers and HSE Royals get together. However, those of you who are joining us for JV-only contests, I will be back at Brownsburg for the first time in a long time, as Brownsburg and Avon JVs take each other on next Saturday in a rivalry matchup. Rivalry weekend next weekend, as both Avon and Brownsburg will get together on Friday night as well. That's going to be a marquee matchup, as the Bulldogs last year took that one. The year before, the Orioles took a couple contests for that one. So all kinds of good stuff for you to listen to on Friday night. Tune in and listen to me and Leck if you want to check out HSE and Cascade. Tune in to Rob Kendall on the Avon Brownsburg contest. Tune in wherever you want to be, but tune in on audiosportsonline.com and WYRZ. We thank you all for joining us today. Once again, that's going to be Ricky Alsum on the game ball for us today. And we want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank our sponsors at Final Time, Wicker Construction, Jimmy Johns, Ellen Kinnelman Financial, as well as the Hoosier Tent and Party Rental Company. And we want to thank all of you for joining us. Rob Kendall back in the studio. For Lex Zorn and everybody here at audiosportsonline.com, I am Marcus Fredwell for the Final Time tonight, saying so long, sports fans.
Have a great Labor Day weekend.